I have some camping tools ideas here. I've come up with a couple of prototypes for this. These are just the caps that come off bottles, and in the bottoms I've made a few holes that'll work like my toggle inspired innovation if you want to like hang stuff. So essentially it's like this and it's like this, and that's my ridge line. It's not very taut, but I'm not exactly in a good spot for a proper demonstration. And the other innovation idea I had was to use that toggle design into a tent stake. So this one here, either you would make this, out of some natural resources where you wish to set up your campsite, or you could just make this and carry it with you. And it's a two-part. You could make it in a one-part, but I've made it in a two-part so that you can just undo it and then carry it with you. And that's a natural one. Here's one I made out of other materials. So same thing, the toggle inspired innovations built into a tent stake, right, or a tarp stake. And so you have the ridge line running that way, and if you use two of them, you can have your tent stakes running one that way and one that way. You could also just use one if that's what you're doing. And it's interesting because what you can do is, through this part here, you can control the kind of pitch, right? It being like that, you can control the pitch. If you want like more of a flat back and a wider front, more open of a front, or you can just do something like this, or if you want it really narrow. And the advantage of having two of them is you can have two different, you can have one end which is narrow, you can have one end that's more open, right? Somewhere you can sit and relax, and the other one for something more like this is like when you're perhaps where you're sleeping, and like, so it's always adjustable. And you could also use these where you run your ridge line through. Instead of just going that way, you could use that one and that one, run one line that way, and then run a line the other way, another line that way, and then you would have a double, right? You'd have a double line going through one, or possibly two, depending what kind of preferences you have. Like, it's another option. And once again, if there's anything that you want to like hang inside, your a light or something else, that you just want off the floor, or you just want to find a convenient spot for it, they'll also act as a type of somewhere to possibly store and hang stuff. So that was the idea behind this. Was they're like camping tools with this toggle inspired innovation. So the one innovation for your ridge line, which can be used in many ways. I'm sure lots of people can think of like different ways to use this if that's something you like. And then there's the tent stakes. which you can just take apart. Yeah, so it's easier for you to carry it around. You could just make that on your campsite if you got time and you feel so motivated to do such things. Or you can just kind of pre-make them. Wow, it's just not focusing out here. Man, I can never win. I need a new camera. And although there's definitely enough light out here today. There we go. Anyways, you get the idea. So that piece just fits onto the stake and is fastened into the stake itself, and it acts like the fastener, right? Where to tighten your tarp or tent going in the other axis. And like I said, it's adjustable, so you can always adjust it to whatever your preference is. Maybe you want a steep back and an open front, or you want something just very open or something very narrow. It's always adjustable. And so yeah, I think I covered everything here. Yeah, and the whole purpose of this is it's a camping tool idea, and B, it's something you can easily do without using knots, right? You don't have to fidget around and worry about that kind of stuff. And like I've just kind of got this basic concept of an idea here. Now, I'm sure if this is useful to people who have more experience with running ridge lines and camping and pitching tarps and tents, maybe they can even think of other things to do here. But I'm just kind of sharing what I've come up with. So yeah, it's these bottle caps, right? And if you can find one that has like a decent plastic, this one's like a thicker type of plastic. For people who have a 3D printer, if you're into this kind of thing, you can 3D print those. You can 3D print your tent, tarp stakes with these toggle inspired innovations built into them. That's another option for people. Yeah, I think that's it. Just sharing my camping tools idea.